to my podcast, Loving Courageous. I'm the host, Demetrius, and on today's episode, I'll be speaking about Adriana Smith, the woman who was pregnant and brain dead. Adriana Smith, who was a nurse, went into the hospital back in February of this year due to her having intense headaches. At this time, she was 8 weeks pregnant. The hospital discharged her after providing her with some medicine. The next day, she was rushed back to the hospital after she woke up gasping for air. The hospital diagnosed her with blood clots in her brain. Within hours, she was declared brain dead. Now, due to her being pregnant, even though she is brain dead, she is placed on life support and is supposed to stay on life support until the due date. And this is due to the law in Georgia. So in Georgia, the state has an abortion ban after 6 weeks of pregnancy. The ban also contains provisions that strengthen the concept of fetal personhood, a doctrine that holds that embryos and fetuses should be considered people and are entitled to full legal rights and protections. Adriana Smith's mother, whose name is April Newkirk, said that the doctors told the family the law requires keeping Adriana alive to preserve the pregnancy. Her mother, April, made a statement stating, I quote, "We didn't have a choice or a say about it. We want the baby. That's a part of my daughter. But the decision should have been left to us, not the state." Now, Adriana was 22 weeks into her pregnancy, and the hospital was supposed to keep her on life support until early August, when the baby was going to be delivered through C-section. Now, told by the Washington Post, Stephen Walston, the director of the Maternal Fetal Medicine Division at George Washington University, said, I quote, "The chances of there being a healthy newborn at the end of this is very, very small." Adriana's mother, April, said that the baby has fluid in the brain and said he may be blind, he may not be able to walk, may not survive once he is born. The family decided to name the baby Chance. Now, the hospital where Adriana Smith is currently located has not commented on her case, citing privacy laws. The Office of Georgia's Attorney General, Chris Carr, has released a statement declaring that Georgia's 6-week law does not require medical professionals to keep women alive on life support after being declared brain dead. He said, I quote, "Removing life support is not an action with the purpose to terminate a pregnancy." Some anti-abortion advocates, however, disagreed. Georgia State Senator Ed Sesler, who sponsored the state's abortion ban, told the Associated Press, I quote, "It is completely appropriate that the hospital do what they can to save the life of a child. I think this is an unusual circumstance, but I think it highlights the value of innocent human life. I think the hospital is acting appropriately." Students for Life of America, which is a national anti-abortion group, has also backed the decision to keep Adriana Smith on life support. They say, I quote, "While Adriana can no longer speak for herself, her son's life still matters. Her doctors are doing the right thing by treating him as a unique patient," which was accompanied by a fundraiser for the Smith family. So even though the family have been forced to keep Adriana Smith on life support, the family has created their own fundraiser to help cover costs associated with Adriana's care and the possibility that her son will be born with disabilities. So Adriana Smith was supposed to be due in August, but however, they had to do an emergency C-section on June the 13th. The baby, whose name is Chance, weighs 1 pound 13 ounces and is in neonatal intensive care. April Newkirk, who is Adriana Smith's mother, made a statement and said, I quote, "He's expected to be okay. He's just fighting. We just want prayers for him. Just keep praying for him. He's here now." and Adriana was eventually taken off life support on Tuesday. Adriana's mom, April, continued by saying, "It's kind of hard, you know. It's hard to process. I'm her mother. I shouldn't be burying my daughter. My daughter should be burying me. If I could say one more thing to her, I guess I would tell her that I love her and that she was a great daughter." She also continued by saying that keeping Adriana alive despite her being brain dead was torture, especially for Adriana Smith's 7-year-old son, who believed his mother was just sleeping. She said she's been breathing through machines for more than 90 days. "It's torture for me. I see my daughter breathing, but she's not there. And her son, I bring him to see her." She continued by saying they were told that the doctors are not legally allowed to consider other options. She said that every woman should have the right to make their own decisions, and if not, the decision should be made by their partner or parents. Now, before Adriana Smith was taken off life support, her family did celebrate her 31st birthday over the weekend. This is all the information that I have. Now, however, I will say this is that this is unethical on so many levels. First of all, the woman is brain dead. And if the doctors would have did what they were supposed to do, she probably would have still been alive, because her mom said that they didn't even do scans on her daughter. They didn't run tests or nothing. And also, the thing that really ticks me off with these people, I'm seeing like them, like some people are more worried about the baby than the mom. And I'm like, are y'all serious right now? Especially the ones that are like pro-life. They be pissing me off. Because at the end of the freaking day, this little boy, he might be blind. He might not be able to walk. Y'all over here worrying about if the baby is going to make it. Y'all not looking at the overall situation. This woman is brain dead. Literally, they got her on life support. And y'all over here worrying about the damn baby. Like, what the heck? The fact that the family didn't even have a say-so is unethical. It's a unmorally thing to do. And the thing that really ticks me off is the people that say they're so pro-life. Y'all act like y'all so damn pro-life, but yet don't give a crap about the mother. What about the treatment of the mom? What about her care? You cannot be pro-life and you don't care about the mother. Because the thing is that baby was not supposed to be born until August. They hurry up and did a C-section, which the woman's not even alive. So they cut the woman open and, removed the baby. And it's just so crazy because after they did that, next thing you know, they telling them, she's going to be removed off of, life support and everything. And I'm just like, it's sad that what these people would do for a baby. And I feel like it's not that these people are pro-life. It's the simple fact that the population in America is decreasing. It's not where it's supposed to be. Don't nobody give a shit. I care less about the population. At the end of the day, what was done here was unethical. That's the moral of the story. Also, her body was starting to decompose. When you're brain dead, you can be on life support, but that don't necessarily mean you're alive. You are still dead. So therefore, she could be hooked to a machine all day want to, but at the end of the day, that body is going to decompose itself automatically. And that's why they had that emergency C-section. They ain't fooling nobody because she's not alive. And to stand here and to force the family to go through this is totally wrong. And this is the thing that pisses me off. Y'all are so worried about a dang on baby. You idiots. She is brain dead. Her body is going to start decomposing. Now, you over here thinking this shit was going to last until freaking August. Her body is decomposing with a baby inside her. What the hell did you think was going to happen? And you wonder why that baby was only weighed 1 pound and 13 ounces. Like, for real. She's no longer here. I don't know why in the world they even decided to do that stupid mess. And I'm like, honestly, if that baby don't make it, because they already said there was fluid in his brain, and honestly, that's not good. And this is why I say these lawmakers are stupid. I felt like the doctors really shouldn't have listened, because it did not make any type of sense for them to go through this and hook a woman up to a freaking machine, but her body is decomposing just to save a damn baby, which he might make it. But still, like, it's dumb to me. Like, you know what? Let the family decide. And if there's going to be a loss in this, okay. But what they did was unacceptable. And another thing I want to say is they act like, oh my goodness, like, we need to save the baby. We need to save the baby. Bruh. A lot of y'all are Trump supporters. Y'all literally vote for dictatorship. Yeah, I'm going to mention it. I don't care. Also, some fact that we got kids being shot up in the motherfucking schools, but you want to act like you're pro-life. How about you protect the baby once they come out the womb? How about you do that? But they ain't doing that, though. They just want them here to add another dang on life to the population. That's it. That's all this is about. But it's just very unethical. And if I was that family, I would sue them. Because they're the ones that going to have to pay those hospital bills, not the dang on freaking government. Which, no, they need to put that shit on their dang on desk. Put it in their mailbox. Here you go. Here's the bill. For forcing us to keep this woman on life support for a dang on baby. That's going to have all these damn issues. Now that is all for the topic for today. And now I'm going to get into the Black History Fact. The Black History Fact will be about Juneteenth, the day when federal troops arrived in Galveston, Texas in 1865 to take control of the state and ensure that all enslaved people be freed. The troops' arrival came a full 2.5 years after the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation. Juneteenth honors the end of slavery in America and is considered the longest-running African American holiday. On June the 17th in 2021, it became a federal holiday. But Juneteenth will occur on June the 19th. Confederate General Robert E. Lee had surrendered at Appomattox Courthouse 2 months earlier in Virginia. But slavery had remained relatively unaffected in Texas until U.S. General Gordon Granger stood on Texas soil and read General Orders Number 3. The people of Texas are informed that in accordance with a proclamation from the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free. The Emancipation Proclamation issued by President Abraham Lincoln on January 1st of 1863 had established that all enslaved people in Confederate states in rebellion against the Union shall be thenceforward and forever free. But in reality, the Emancipation Proclamation did not instantly free any enslaved people. The proclamation only applied to places under Confederate control and not to slave-holding border states or rebel areas already under Union control. Now, however, Northern troops advanced into the Confederate South, and many enslaved people fled behind Union lines. In Texas, slavery had continued as the state experienced no large-scale fighting or significant presence of Union troops. Many enslavers from outside the Lone Star State had moved there as they viewed it as a safe haven for slavery. After the war came to a close in the spring of 1865, General Granger's arrival in Galveston that June signaled freedom for Texas' 250,000 enslaved black people. Although emancipation didn't happen overnight for everyone, in some cases, enslavers withheld the information until after harvest season. Celebrations broke out among newly freed black people, and Juneteenth was born. That same year, in December, slavery in America was formally abolished with the adoption of the 13th Amendment. The year following, 1865, freedmen in Texas organized the first of what became the annual celebration of Jubilee Day on June 19th. In the ensuing decades, Juneteenth commemorations featured music, prayer services, barbecues, and other activities as black people migrated from Texas to other parts of the country. The Juneteenth tradition spread. Also in 1979, Texas became the first state to make Juneteenth an official holiday. Several other states followed over the years. In June 2021, Congress passed a resolution establishing Juneteenth as a federal holiday. That is all for my episode. Thank you everyone for listening to my podcast, and I hope y'all have a lovely day.